Shirley says an initial impact assessment for the region is being compiled to be presented to the government on Friday. Mr Shirley says estimates for restoring the roading network in the Rangitikei district alone are about $20 million. The Minister for Treaty of Waitangi negotiations says legal action over the sale of public land in Auckland is unlikely to go ahead. Two iwi, Ngāti Whātua and Tainui, previously said they would go to the High Court to clarify whether they should have been offered the right of first refusal to purchase the section of land. But Chris Finlayson says there are no court proceedings underway, and after discussions with the iwi, that's unlikely to change.
As a result of the discussions that we've had, I think everyone understands the position, understands what the RFRs are about, and are looking to move on in a very positive way as treaty partners, which is as it should be.
The Minister for Treaty of Waitangi negotiations, Chris Finlayson. Ngāti Whātua and Tainui have not responded to requests for comment. The Prime Minister says the government did not tell a Saudi businessman to sue New Zealand. But John Key says ministers may have advised him to test his legal position in the courts. The government has given Hamoud Ali Al-Khalaf more than $11 million in cash, livestock and agricultural equipment, saying he had threatened legal action and that New Zealand could have been sued for up to $30 million. A letter dated 2011 to the Foreign Minister Murray McCulley from a New Zealand company aligned with Mr Al-Khalaf, Brown Rig Agriculture, said the government had advised the businessman to seek commercial redress. Today, Mr Key told Parliament that isn't uncommon.
What ministers do from time to time say, and I've actually said myself, is people are free to test their legal rights in court.
John Key. The government is also giving Brown Rig Agriculture another $11 million to produce marbled beef. The United Nations is warning that a new outbreak of cholera in South Sudan could affect thousands of children. The UN children's charity UNICEF says it urgently needs $4.5 million to fund an emergency response. The BBC's Africa health correspondent Anne Soy reports.
The first case was reported nearly a month ago in the capital, Juba. The number of suspected cases has been rising since then in the city and in nearby villages. The first outbreak hit independent South Sudan around this time last year, killing more than 160 people. It is a scenario many hope can be avoided. UNICEF says the number of deaths can be reduced through early detection and greater prevention awareness among communities.
And Soy reporting. UNICEF says that heavy rain in the months ahead is likely to speed up the spread of the disease. The Australian government is considering whether to make its plan to strip citizenship from dual nationals involved in terrorism retrospective. The government is introducing law changes, which the Labour Party says it will support to extend its plan to revoke citizenship. In 2013, New Zealander Daryl Jones, who had dual Australian citizenship, was killed by an American drone, apparently after being linked to an Al-Qaeda group. And now a New Zealand woman, also with dual Australian citizenship, in Islamic State-controlled Syria, is seeking to return to Sydney. The Foreign Minister, Julie Bishop, says the retrospective sanctions should be considered.
As a matter of course, the coalition would not support retrospectivity, but there are certain circumstances where, for example, people convicted of terrorist offences currently serving time in prison, their circumstances should be considered on their release from prison.
Julie Bishop in Canberra. That's the news. Radio New Zealand International. Time for music from the Pacific.